Tamiya sells Tamiya branded Anex tools. And this Tamiya branded ratcheting screwdriver is actually the Annex ratcheting screwdriver. And I gotta say, I really like the Annex ratcheting screwdriver. I probably should call it a bit holder because it is removable. And then I also got the 2.5mm ball drive. So how does the Anex ratcheting ball drive compare to the Vessel ratcheting ball drive? So there's things I like better about each one. The ratchet in the Annex is finer, but it has more back drag. The ratchet in the Vessel has less teeth, but it has less back drag also. The main thing that I like better about the Annex is the directional switch. I just like that directional switch better. The directional ring on the Vessel is okay, but I like having this switch on here. Okay, so that's my subjective opinion. So if we put the Anex 150 extension in here, this is kind of how they measure up or how they compare. Tamiya Annex is made in Japan, and so is this Annex screwdriver. Okay, did that. So my advice is, if you can't make up your mind, buy both. This double-ended bit right here is an Annex. Do the double-ended bits fit in here? They sure do. Here's the new Vessel diamond bits. How far deep does that go? So it fits in there about that far. So that's, you know, typical for like a blade style. But on the cross point you can feel there is a slight texture, whereas the rest of the bit is smooth. For now I'm just showing them off and making people aware of them. So this is the Vessel Procon. Those fit in here really nicely. There's no play. The Vessel Procon in here is a really nice combo. Let's take a look at the micro hammer. So I did not realize that the micro hammer was this micro. I mean, that is a micro hammer. You can see that they didn't even change the mold for the handle. There's Annex, made in Japan. And it's branded Tamiya micro hammer. I think this one is in fact the small size of these little hammers that Annex makes. And these ends are removable, they're threaded. So the two iron or steel ones, there's a round-headed and a flat-headed that come with it. I'm going to put the round-headed on there. And then the brass is a flat head. All right, and then it comes with the plastic head, and that plastic head is flat. And then it comes with this kind of silly thing. I think the idea is you can store these. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but it came with this. So I thought that was kind of fun to have a little bit of different branding on some Anex tools. Then I thought I would get this Anex Modeler's Punch. All right, so this is a Tamiya branded Anex head. We can see the Anex brand right there, and that is made in Japan. It's a plastic bit holder. Bits fit into this one about this far, so it's more of a kind of a blade style holder. Bit like this is probably about the smallest thing you're going to want to put into that one. Definitely not going to want to put a bit like that into it. What have we got here? We have punches, a 2mm and a 3mm hole punch. 3mm hole punch. There's the hole. I can clean this out like this. Okay, 2mm hole. And there is a perfect 2mm hole. Okay, the Tamiya nut driver. Let's look at this really stubby Tamiya branded Annex nut driver. We don't have the actual Annex brand anywhere on here that I can see. We do see that it is made in Japan. The bit doesn't have any markings on it. So this is a 4.5mm nut driver on here for those nylock nuts. 4.5mm is pretty small. 4mm is even smaller. That is really small. And then they machine down the cylinder here to 6mm so you get a little more clearance. This machining does not lock into anything. It's not actually, you can put the bit into a magnetic bit holder like this, of course, but this does not lock into anything. And of course it doesn't lock into this either. It's fairly loose fit, but you're going to be constantly putting down pressure on it anyway, so. Alright, I got to give you a heads up, because if you follow the links in the description to Amazon Japan, you're going to notice that the Amazon seller is a third party called Pocci, P-O-C-C-H-I. So right now the US dollar is very strong against the Japanese yen. But I can definitely recommend the Pocci third-party seller. They did a very good job boxing this up. I also bought a bunch of other items from them. I bought some of these. These are limited editions. These are hard to get out of Japan. They sent these out to me FedEx, which was okay. It's not quite as good as DHL, but it was okay. I was very happy with Pocci as a third-party seller on Amazon. You know, I admit this was more of a fun splurge. I thought it would make an interesting YouTube video too. So I hope you found that fun and interesting, and thank you for watching.